Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a free-for-all match on the map Arena Valley Extreme. I'm starting in the top left position playing as the Soviets. So it's a four-way match. Quite often what you'll find that happens is that the teams will start in all four corners. And the first thing I'm going to do is just produce some infantrymen and get a bit of scouting done, because what I want to find out is if there's any teams near me. I mean, sometimes you can go on this map and there'll be a team right next to you. Although, as I say, it's usually in the four corners more often than not. So I'm just, don't want to produce too many infantry, of course, because I want to have a good economy to do other things. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to expand to the right. I'm going to keep on expanding in that direction because I'm going to want to start using the ore patch, which you'll see just coming into view there. And as we can see, red are coming from the right. So the red player is called Mia, and she's must be in the top right position, I think, because from the direction she was coming in and at the speed at which she got to my base. And there we can see her sending some more infantry across, and she's actually got an infantry person into my base, so I was just a little bit slow there. What I was probably doing is I was probably positioning my troops more like I would in quick match, and you can see there's also a pink player, so I haven't done a very good job there of guarding my base at the start. I probably should have made like a smaller net for the other teams to get through. So that was Nose, so I think that Mia's in the top right position, and it looks like Nose is in the bottom left position. And we can see Nose sending a couple more troops up there. And Mia's just bombing them out now with that bomber person. So yeah, I could have done a lot better there, let's say. Right, so I'm expanding my war factories out to the right. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a service depot. And I want to get a service depot in this game quite early-ish on, because I'm going to be wanting to make multiple MCVs. Because in free-for-all matches, you just have to be a little bit more careful. If you just use the normal tactics you'd go for in a 1v1 match, sometimes you can get caught out if your opponents are building multiple MCVs. So I'm just going to get an early MCV, and the risk of getting the early MCV is it means I'm not going to have as many tanks early on, but it's a risk that can often pay off if there's multiple opponents, unless your opponents obviously are starting out right next to you, which in this case they're not. Because the problem is, when you've got a team in all four corners, if, let's say, top right, let's say Mia decided to attack me with everything, then the player from the bottom right would be able to attack her, and it's the same for Nose in the bottom left. So you do have sometimes a bit more leeway in free-for-all matches. People may be a little less aggressive, unless you start right next to them. And if you start right next to them, usually people try and get rid of you straight away, very, very early on. And now we can see I'm getting that third war factory out. It's really important to have those multiple war factories, because it can help you increase that building speed. And at the moment, I'm going to have double the building speed, but I'm going to be wanting to add MCVs in as time goes by. And we can see that Yellow has been defeated, and Yellow's the only one that hasn't sent infantry to my base, and I think that's because he was starting in the bottom right position. So this puts us in a tricky position now, because there's going to be 3 teams, and the teams that fight each other are going to be at disadvantage. The only problem is I'm sort of like in the middle, being in the top left, so it's going to be quite tricky, this game. And as you can see, I'm building another couple of MCVs, because I'm going to need to get that building speed up, because I'm going to need to be able to expand fast and be able to get defences and get a really, really good tank production if I'm going to have a chance in this game. And yeah, you can just see me moving those MCVs down, getting them down, and as I say, every MCV I build, that's going to increase my building speed further. So we've got another one down there. And you'll see I'll pause and start building again, because the building speed doesn't take into effect otherwise. And really importantly, what I'm doing is I'm expanding to the middle ore. In Arena Valley Extreme, you just need to expand to the middle you're always going to need to expand there eventually. And I'm going to get a radar dome, which is going to be really helpful, especially in free-for-all matches where you could be attacked from multiple directions. It's just really, really helpful and allows you to keep an eye on what's going on. Now, what you probably noticed is I haven't scouted as much of the map as I should have. So that could have been a bit more beneficial if I'd done that earlier on. Had a bit more, well, used my infantry a bit more effectively. And just got a little bit more visibility there. But as you can see, my economy is building up quite nicely. I've got multiple ore refineries on that middle ore. And I'm also building Tesla coils in, just for a bit of protection. And there we can see red. That's Mia, who's also playing as the Soviets. And this is the first little skirmish we're having in this game. It's been quite quiet until now. And yeah, we're just trying to maintain numbers. You can see that Mia, I think, has the tank advantage at the moment. And it looks like we're going to need to pull back. I'm just making sure I've got plenty of Tesla coils there. Just help me with that. And you can see I'm just making sure I get my tank numbers up. I'm still building those MCVs because they are really, really important. And you can see that Mia's held back a little bit, which is really good for me. Because what you can see is I have been building up my economy. And you can see I'm starting to stack the ore now. And what that means is I need to build more war factories in order to just boost that tank's production. And sometimes you can also get a bit boost in or sort of when you build construction yards, MCVs. This take less ore usually to build, like the time it takes to build. You usually build up ore when you're building them. And we can see we're just deploying them. And I've got MCVs deployed across my base, not just in one place, because I don't want them to be all destroyed together. But now I've got 5 war factories operating, and this should really boost that tank production. And now we can see we're starting to get our tank numbers really right up there. And what we're going to do is we're going to be expanding our base that way as well, and hopefully we'll get some Tesla coils down to help us with this battle. And it's starting to look a bit more even now, and I'm getting those Tesla coils in, and they will provide a lot of assistance. And what we're doing also, as well as sort of pushing red back, we're pushing them off that middle ore, which is going to make it a lot harder for them. And what you can probably notice I'm doing is I'm just building those Tesla coils down to the right position as well, and downwards, because what I want to be doing is I want to be destroying those ore trucks, which will be mining on this ore at the bottom. And as you can see, I've definitely got the upper hand this time, and it's just too many Tesla coils. I don't think there's any way they're going to be able to beat this many tanks working alongside 4 Tesla coils, because tanks and Tesla coils are a very good combination. If you can get close to Tesla coils, like if there was no tanks to defend them, Tesla coils do have very low HP, but in these conditions they are very effective. And we can see that Mia's also got some Tesla coils down, but one's not going to be too bad. We've managed to destroy that. And you can see Mia's tank numbers are thinning out at the moment. And yep, I think that's going to be a good game for Mia. As we can see, we're just clearing up the last of those tanks. And the thing is, we've got Mia off the ore, so there's no way she's going to be able to come back from that. Now, what I have to be worried about is what Nose has been doing in this time, because he's sort of had some free time. And what that means is he's had time to build his economy. He's had time to build tanks without any hassle. He's had time to get multiple MCVs. And what I'm doing immediately is I'm building up our defences, and I'm putting up protection, because I think he's going to go straight for my base, as you should in free-for-all matches like this. And we can see that's indeed what Nose is doing. He's sending his tanks up to attack me straight away, because the person is most vulnerable when they've just had a fight. So he's not going to give me any time to just recuperate. And you can see Nose has got a lot of tanks. He's had a lot of time to build. And we can see not only is he taking tanks to the bottom part of my base, he's also taking it to the top left. So I'm going to have to fight on 2 fronts. Now, what I'm not going to be too worried about is he's just destroying some of the stuff furthest to the left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start building those Tesla coils just a bit to the right, and just build up some defences so I can actually defend when the time comes. And what you can see is we're starting to be able to clear these tanks at the bottom part of my base. And once we've cleared them, we'll be able to go up and deal more with that top half. And you can see now he's starting to run into the Tesla coils. I'm just making sure I build plenty of power plants as well, because the worst thing that can happen in this situation is to run out of power. And you can see he's starting to clear up the Tesla coils. There wasn't enough tanks defending them. But and I've lost the construction yard, but I'm not too bothered about that at the moment because I've got about 4 more, so I will be okay at this point. And we've managed to clear up that attack so far. So what I'm going to need to do now is I'm going to need to get a bit more visibility in the lower part of the map. I'm just going to get that crate there and see what it brings. And you can see he's giving me no rest time. He's going right for it again. And you can see this time he's starting to pull back, which indicates I possibly have the superior tank numbers. And you can see he's trying to take control of that middle part of the map, because I suspect that middle part, he's running out of ore in this part of the map, as I'm running out of ore at the top of the map. And what you can, but he has destroyed a bit of my economy in that area, so I'm just going to have to be careful. And you can see he's got a bit of a stronghold at this point at the moment, and it's not looking too good so far. Now, he hasn't really got that many tanks over there. He'll get that. Yeah, he'll get that war factory, but I think I've got enough Tesla coils up at the top, even without tanks to defend for the time being. And we can see we're starting to clear these tanks up here, and we've got the better tank numbers. And I think Nose is going to lose these tanks for now. And yep, it looks like we're going to be able to push him back at this point. And now, what I have to consider though, is what's happened to me is I've received a lot of damage to my economy. You can see I'm really low on ore. And what that's going to do is it's going to hamper my tank production. And depending on Nose's economy, he's going to be able to build tanks quicker than I am at the moment. And you can see he's got some Tesla coils in here. And as we say, Tesla coils and tanks are a very powerful combination. What we're trying to do with those, we're trying to push through because we do have to try and do some damage to his base. But it doesn't look like it's gone as well as I've planned. And I'm going to have to pull back at this point. So it looks like Nose is going to be able to take control of the bottom part of the middle ore. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm expanding to the right where Mia was, because there was still some ore there, and I'm going to be utilising that, because I'm going to need to build up that economy again. And you can see he's dropping some men down, but they're going to be taken out very, very quickly. And I think he's probably looking, is there a weakness in the right side of my base? And I think that tells him no. Even though probably a bit further to the right there's going to be some spare ore refineries. And you can see he's pushing up again. What I notice now though is he is getting better tank numbers. Because he has done a lot of damage to my economy, especially on that where we're standing right now. He has managed to destroy a lot of ore trucks, and that's starting to catch up with me at the moment. So we're taking this fight at the moment. We have to, because there's a lot of important buildings around this point, and he's bringing those tanks that were held up at the top left position back to this middle position to help in the fight. And at the moment the tank numbers look sort of even. We can see he's also getting mixed, which is going to cause a bit of problem to buildings, especially things like war factories, construction yards, if he's able to build up the numbers. At the moment we're just investing in tanks, Tesla coils, and improving the economy. And we can see he's being pushed down a little bit back now, and we're expanding up to this top right ore. And we can see that he's falling back for the time being. And I've managed to move my economy now away from that ore patch right below me into that ore patch up at the top right and to the right of my base. And so far we haven't seen any tanks from Nose going in that direction. And there I've got my ore refinery. I'm just taking this fight at the moment. It's just hard to sort of fight and place buildings at the same time. but we can see we're doing sort of alrightish. He's building tanks a little bit faster, and we can see that my ore has actually built up quite a lot, and we can see, but he's getting the upper hand in number of tanks. So I'm going to need to place more war factories down now, in order to increase my tank building speed. But it might be too late, because it looks like he's getting the superior tank numbers, and this is going to be very, very hard to hold. And we're just going to have to let that front part sort of die out, and sort of hold. You can see there's sort of like a number of war factories, sort of a ring of them. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be placing Tesla coils down. Hopefully he'll be too busy with those, and hopefully we'll be able to hold this at this point, because we can see there's 3 Tesla coils. Well, one's gone down. He's destroyed a war factory, and he's destroyed a construction yard. But you can see it's sort of looking like he's just got just too many tanks, and it looks like he's going to be able to win this fight here. And you can see he's taking those Tesla coils down, because when they get close, Tesla coils do have a low HP, and it looks like he has got overwhelming numbers at this point, and it's just a case of trying to slow him down. But as I say, the more buildings he destroys, the worse off I am for like things like building speed, for like buildings, and building speed for tanks when he takes out war factories. And at the yes, it looks like at the moment it's going to be good game. He's just got too many there, so that was that. I probably needed to build the war factory a little bit earlier there, because I did stack up ore a bit too much, as you can see. But at the end of the day, it was like I did have a long fight with Mia at the start, and that allowed Nose to sort of a lot of time to build up. He sort of dealt with his opponent quite early on, and that's one of the things about free-for-alls. If you get rid of your near competition, it gives you a bit of time to build up, get those multiple war factories, and get your economy sorted. Right, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.